What's up everyone, this is ShoryuGame welcoming you to another KOF 15 trailer analysis, and oh my god, I lived long enough to see this day at last. The original main villain of KOF and one of the most iconic bosses in all fighting games, Rugal Bernstein, is officially in KOF 15. I knew he was coming to the game eventually, but I wasn't expecting him to drop so soon, especially that we just have the Garou team in less than a week. But the most expectation-shattering thing about his reveal, he is a totally free DLC. Can you believe that? I mean, we all knew Rugal is cheap, but nobody was expecting him to be that cheap, and we're all grateful for that. In case you just came from a far distant galaxy and don't know who Rugal is, he is the original main villain of KOF. He was the final boss of 94 and 95. From a canon perspective, he's been only in those two games. He died at the end of 95 and wasn't heard of again until 14, where we learned that he was one of the souls trapped within Verse. Of course, he showed up in other non-canon entries like 98, 2002 and of course Capcom vs SNK 1 and 2. His most recent presence was in O2 Unlimited match as a secret boss that you need to meet specific requirements to fight against him, then most likely get beaten immediately without having a second chance, which earned him the #1 spot in my top 10 hardest bosses in KOF. Despite being present in only 2 games canonically, Rugal has a pretty rich backstory. I did a lore video about him and I invite you to take a look at it if you want to know more about this insane character. The first thing you'd notice in the trailer is that Rugal's design is kept unchanged from previous games. Save for the 3D update of course, he looks pretty much the same as he did in the past. Rugal had 2 variations, the quote-unquote normal form which he uses in 94 and the Omega variation when he starts using the Orochi powers. The latter form is distinguished by his white ashen hair and darker skin. The dark skin is probably the only thing different in 15, as it's not as dark as it used to be, despite being presented as Omega Rugal in the trailer. I like that despite being blown up to pieces when he died, his body was totally regenerated except his eye. It's still replaced with his cybernetic one. Not that I'm complaining, especially that eye can shoot laser beams now. I adore that the trailer starts with the new remixed version of his Guitar to Omega to Rugal, his theme from 95. Personally, it's my favorite Rugal's theme, and it sounds so sick. In the second half of the trailer, we can also hear a new version of his 98 theme, the Kichako R. You gotta make more noise now, and not just some. His moveset is mainly from 98, but he does have moves from 2002 as well, as brand new techniques. For instance, his Reppuken, the fireball that he copied from Geese, is part of his moveset. That was the case only in his normal version in 98. In his Omega version, he used to have a very cheap and annoying fireball named Gravity Smash. It's nowhere to be found in the trailer thankfully, just like his Kaiser Wave by the way. Maybe because they kept it exclusive to its original owner who's also coming to the game? Let's hope so. However, Rugal did retain his deadly special move Vanishing Rush from his Omega version in 98. I can already tell that this move is going to be trouble, since it has the same input as his God Press technique. This explains why the latter is nowhere to be found in the trailer, except in its Desperation move variation. And of course, the one technique that he's most infamous for, the dreaded Genocide Cutter, is part of his move list too. Let's take a deeper dive into his moves and try analyzing each one of them, starting with the Far C, Close D and its double kick, Jump C, Standing CD. I like how he crosses his arms when he executes it, the Double Tomahawk or Forward B. The second kick is an overhead. I'm not sure if you need to block low for the first kick though. It sure looks like a low blow, poor Kyo, and a throw. The first special move is his Reppuken, which he copied from Geese as I said earlier. Then his iconic DP, Genocide Cutter. The special effect looks pretty dope. I noticed that the recovery animation is quite long. It should be extremely punishable if blocked or whiffed. The Reflector Dark Barrier is present as well, and a brand new Desperation move where he shoots a laser beam from his cybernetic eye. It looks very cool and it's a long range super. Zoners should be careful. He probably copied this technique from Cyclops or Justice. The other super is his Gigatech Pressure, the same one that Mature has, who by the way should be extremely happy with Rugal's return. I love the skull effect of this super. It looks like it's laughing before it disappears. After the taunt, he goes for his all-time rival Hydern to show up his combos, beginning with a close D, EX Barrier, causing Hydern to crumple, EX Vanishing Rush, sending him high enough in the air to end the combo with an EX Genocide Cutter, which has an extra hit in this variation, just like it did in 2002. The following combo starts with a double down B, standing B, Vanishing Rush, and level 2 laser super that has a second shot. After that, Rugal goes for a close C, forward B, EX Vanishing Rush, making him side switch and continuing the combo with a close D, Reppuken, cancelled into level 2 super Gigatech Pressure. With that, the moves and combos showcase ends, but the trailer isn't over yet. Rugal comes with a new game mode, the Boss Challenge. In this mode, we'll be put against Omega Rugal, who will be just as cheap, busted and unfair as he used to be in the past. This is made clear when you see that his Genocide Cutter had the priority over any attack from the opponent, including Climax Supers. Rugal is wearing his badass coat from 2002, which he used to always take off before the match. Now he keeps wearing it during combat. I wonder if we can select this outfit in other modes or if it's exclusive only to the Boss Challenge mode. At the end of the trailer, we get to see his Climax Super, where he sends Isla in the air with his Genocide Cutter, punches her back to the ground, and uses his Kaiser Wave while still in the air, destroying Isla and probably a chunk of the planet with her. It looks a lot like Vegeta's Final Flash, or is it just me? It's worth mentioning that a new stage is also presented in this trailer, and I have some theories concerning it. I'm curious about these craters spread everywhere in that area. They look similar to the craters where the newly resurrected characters were found in 14. My guess is that Rugal had emerged from one of them, and since there are so many in this stage, I think that means that we'll get to see other resurrected bosses in the future. Wouldn't that make more sense? After all, it's hard to believe that they'd create an entire mode for only one character, even if that character is freaking Rugal. Brace yourself everyone, we might get to fight Ignis, Magaki and Genis in the future. And that concludes Rugal Reveal's trailer analysis. I'm extremely happy with this reveal, especially that he'll be available in less than a month. The only concern I have is that how is he going to be implemented in the story? Seeing that he's a single entry, I wonder if he has an ending or interactions with other characters. I would love to see Hydern or Kyo's reactions when they see him, assuming they have ones. The last thing I have to say, I want to commend SNK for giving him for free. Rugal is an extremely popular character. They could have charged us $10 for him and we'd probably still bought him, but they didn't. Thank you SNK, you shattered our expectations in the best way possible. What did you think of Rugal's joining KOF 15? Are you looking forward to be destroyed by his Genocide Cutter? I'd like to know your thoughts in the comments. That's it for now, I hope that was somewhat informative. As always, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and consider subscribing to this channel. Thanks for watching.